What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, a topic that a lot of people within the Transformers fandom have been talking about for numerous years now, basically since Transformers Prime ended, I'd say, so around 2013, 2014, since RID, well, more so since like RID 2015 started, and we noticed, okay, this is not like stuff that we're going to be getting anymore, like what we had with Prime, Animated, Unicron Trilogy, Beast Wars, and that basically leads into the fact that modern new Transformers show toy lines are failing. They're just not selling as great as they used to, and it seems like every show reboot that goes on, the sales dip just a little bit every time. And we're at the point now with Earthspark where it's basically getting canceled after, I mean, they're saying it's season 3, but really it's just season 2 split up just to make it seem like they did get a season 3 when in reality it's really just episodes from season 2. So honestly, Earthspark was basically just canceled after season 2, and that's mainly because the ratings are so low, because of it mostly just being on Paramount Plus, a streaming service you have to pay, like, I think $10 a month for, just to watch a mediocre kids cartoon. I mean, how many people are really going to do that? Even if you're a massive Transformers fan, there's really nothing interesting about Earthspark that'll make somebody go, hey, I want to spend $10 a month just to watch this kid's cartoon that really doesn't have anything interesting with the story or anything interesting with its characters. I mean, sure, there's a couple instances here and there with some cool stuff, like how there is in every cartoon. There's something I could say that's cool about freaking Beast Machines, you know? I really don't see how they thought this was going to be successful, with that being one of the reasons, and how they wanted to market it. And now moving into the toy line, it's like, I don't know. I mean, if you look at previous cartoon toy lines before like RID 2015, when this new philosophy of just doing deluxes and slightly cheaper deluxes like Warrior class figures started, and not doing any Voyagers, any Leaders, and just sticking to the rest of the line being, in my opinion, stupid, boring gimmick toys that aren't even going to garner the interest of a 3-year-old. I think that was really the downfall, especially of the toy lines for these new Transformers cartoons over the last 10 years. Because if you look at the previous show lines before RID 2015, it was just, I mean, there were gimmick toys in Animated and Prime, but not as much as I'd say there are now. Like, gimmick toys take up the majority of the cartoon toy lines now. It wasn't like that 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. If you go back to Beast Wars, they were highly detailed, semi-highly articulated figures for what they could do at the time with just basically ball joints and hinges. They were pretty well articulated, nicely detailed, and for the time, really show accurate. And they were deluxes, Voyagers, Scout class, and I think there was Leader class as well. So it was like 4 or 5 size classes of what we know Generations as today. So basically Beast Wars started Generations, what we know it as right now in 2024, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And then you go into RID 2001 and Beast Machines. It's a whole nother level of highly detailed, highly articulated, transforming robot figures that really did interest kids because they were intricate figures that you could transform, play with, pose around, and they had nice detail and paint on them. They were just fun figures all around. And then you go into Unicron Trilogy, you kind of went back to the gimmick-based little kitty stuff with Armada, but even then, there were still articulated figures like Hoist. There was Hotshot was semi-articulated, Thrust, Cyclonus, Demolisher, Starscream. They were still adding articulation to figures when they could, when the gimmick wasn't taking up most of the budget and most of the design for the figure. And then, especially when you go into Energon and Cybertron, they went back more into the highly articulated and detailed, more collector-oriented route, if you will, even though at the time they were mostly just thinking of kids, but they were also thinking of the older collectors from the 80s and 90s as well. And then it was really until Animated where we started getting the regular Deluxes, Voyagers, and Leaders alongside the more gimmick, simple toys. And ever since then, there was this weird push for it. And I think that is one of the reasons, or if not the main reason, why toy lines are failing, because they're not doing Voyagers and Leaders anymore for these new kids cartoons, and they're focusing more so on gimmick-based toys that are just not interesting. They're not gonna make little 5-year-olds buy these things, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, if I was 5 years old, I would rather have Deluxe Class Animated Rodimus Prime instead of, what are some of the new gimmick toys called? Smashin', whatever, Smash Changers, Earthspark Bumblebee or something like that. It's just a big brick that does nothing except pressing, like, a button and it transforms in one step, those stupid one-step changers, which are actually kind of cool at the time when they first came out in, like, 2014 for Age of Extinction. But nowadays, it's like, come on, can we just get Voyagers and Leaders with the new show toy lines again? I just don't see the interest, especially nowadays with video games and just how technology is, for these simple gimmick-based toys for little kids. I think it was a good mix back in the day, because you had the articulation, the detail, the accuracy, along with the gimmicks as well. And you don't get that nowadays either. So I really do feel like for the next toy lines to do well that are based on the new shows, they need to implement what they do with Generations and also keep the gimmicks as well, like what they used to do with the old toy lines. Unicron Trilogy, Animated. Prime was more of a collector-based show and just toy line in general, even though they did have kids in mind, obviously. It was mostly just Deluxes, Voyagers, and the occasional Leader class here and there during Beast Hunters. There wasn't really too many gimmick-based toys. I mean, there was Cyberverse, there were a couple simple gimmick figures here and there, but nothing along the lines of RAD 2015, Cyberverse, and Earthspark, where it takes up 85% of the toy line. So at the least, just go back to how it was during Animated and Prime, where you have it split 50-50 across the board, where it comes to 50% just simple gimmick-based figures with barely any articulation and barely any accuracy or detail to the show, and then the other 50% just doing regular Generations-style Deluxes, Voyagers, and the occasional Leader class. That's what I think Hasbro really should go back to. That's where, in my opinion, the money would be best spent on these new toy lines, especially with the success of Generations. You would think Hasbro would want to kind of produce that synergy between both toy lines that they already have between the movie toy lines and the regular Generations toy line. But who knows? Time is going to tell. It seems like with Cyberworld, it's just going to be more of the same stuff. So who knows how well that toy line is going to sell and how good the show is going to view on TV. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully after Cyberworld, if that's the case, then hopefully after we get something that is more akin to what we used to get with show toy lines for Transformers. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to talk about this topic because I know a lot of people out there feel the exact same way as I do. It's been something that has been a big discussion in the community the last 10 years, I'd say. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below, how do y'all feel about the new toy lines for these Transformers shows? Why do you think they're not selling as well as they used to? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or your regular display shelves in your homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me. We can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!